Hello, good evening. Welcome to today's Yin Yoga session, which is going to be focused on anybody who has digestive issues, so be that IBS or constipation or diarrhea or anything, actually appetite problems also. Any problems that you're having that is related to the gastrointestinal area, so here, the cat. And also this is a good session for anybody who, sorry, I've got to let her out. Hi Linda. Come on. Merhaba Sevinç. Hi anyone else who's there and I can't see you. This is also a good session for anyone who has a tendency to, yes, let's try again. Anybody who has a tendency to slouch, who has bad posture, because we're going to be going backwards for most of the time. The last type of people that this may be good for is anybody who worries a lot, particularly at this time of year. Anybody who overthinks, this can also be a useful session for you. So let's get straight into it. So we're going to start. I'm going to give you a couple of options. If you've got a block, then we can use this, or a book. Otherwise I'll give you another option. So the first option, if you've got a block, is half pontoon. So we're going to lie down on our backs and you can put it on one of the lower levels, so either the lowest one or the next one up, at least to start with, and then put it right at the bottom, not on the bony bit, well, just actually underneath the bony bit of the spine. Right at the bottom of the spine. You choose the level, but don't go too high to start with. So we're opening up the front of the body here. So what we're going to do is stretch out the right leg, and this time we're going to bring the left knee in. So just, you can hold on to that left knee, but as always, keep it passive, keep it relaxed. It doesn't need to be directly in, don't pull it in. And if it wants to move a bit out to either side, that's fine. So that's option one. If you haven't got a block or a book or anything like that, then option two is to go onto your front. A bit more elegantly than I just did. We're going to move into Sphinx, so going up on the elbows. And then I want you to bring the right knee up on the floor next to you. So this is actually called lizard, which is basically half Sphinx. So what we're doing in both of these poses is we're opening up the front of the body and we're giving some compression to the back. So you can do either one of these. Now if you're in lizard, play with the knee, put it wherever you like. But what we're doing in both of these, as well as opening up the back, opening up the front and compressing the back, also on the right side, we're bringing a kind of compression to the digestive organs. So you could say a kind of massage, I suppose, to the digestive organs. I'm going to go back onto pontoon, half pontoon, but you just stay wherever and whichever one works for you. We're going to be in this for around 2 minutes now, whatever pose you're in. And I'll just explain a bit more about what we're doing. So as I said a couple of times now, we're opening up the front, and the reason that we're doing that is in an energetic sense. So the idea being that the stomach and the spleen, the lines of energy related to the stomach and the spleen basically run down the front of the body, the front of the torso, the front of the legs. So what we're doing here is we're stimulating the energy that runs through these lines, through these meridians, with the idea being that they will potentially have an effect on the digestive system in an energetic sense. Now also, in a physical sense, in a more Western way I suppose, what we're doing with the leg is we're bringing it in to compress the area, the abdominal region where the digestive tract is largely. And there are a few different theories, I suppose, that you hear in the yoga world about what happens when we do something like this, and also when we twist as well. It's a similar idea. You might hear, for example, that we're compressing and then decompressing the organs, so helping them work more efficiently, or that we're massaging the organs, or that what we're actually doing is we are temporarily restricting the blood flow actually to the organs when we're in the pose, so when we've got this knee in. And then when we move into the rebound, which we will shortly, then fresh blood can kind of flow in. Ultimately, all of these options, the idea is to try and help to assist this system to work more efficiently, more effectively. Okay, so let's go to the other side. So bring, if you're in pontoon, bring that leg down and just change to the other side. The same if you are in Sphinx. Take the right leg down and then bring the left knee up on the floor. Again, play with the position of the knee to make sure that it's quite comfortable. And then we're going to stay here for around 3 minutes. And just notice. Close your eyes if that's okay. If you are tensing any muscles anywhere, unconsciously, self-consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, without realizing. And remember, if that knee needs to move a bit, then by all means do that. And if you're in Sphinx or Lizard, half Sphinx, and you're feeling that there's actually too much compression in the lower back, then by all means come down a bit so you can move the elbows forward to lessen the back bend. Or if you want a bit more, you can move the elbows a bit closer towards you. Or even put something underneath the elbows, cushions, bolsters, whatever, just to raise yourself up if you want more back bend. And perhaps for this last minute or so, you might want to bring your attention to the belly, to the area that we're focusing on. And just notice, both now in the poses and also in the rebound phase, how does it feel, this area? So we're stretching this area to some degree. How does that feel? Can you feel that stretch or not really? Compare the left side to the right side. So can you feel the stretch more on one side? Because of course it is more on one side, but can you feel that? Can you feel anything else? Now it's very possible that for this session, seeing as we're focusing on the digestive system, then you may well feel or hear some rumblings there. And that's good, because that means something's going on and we're having an effect on our bodies. So let's come out. So if you are in pontoon, just let that leg come down. Bend both knees, place the feet on the floor, gently, gently, gently raise the hips up. Take the block away and come down and lie down. Straighten the legs out. If you are in lizard or sphinx, then just straighten both legs out now, stay on your front and slowly come down so that you're lying on your front. And now for the rebound, for around a minute or so, I want you to close your eyes and bring your attention to the stomach. You can even put the hands on the stomach if you want. Notice any sensations, any feelings, any sounds. Anything at all. And when you're ready to start moving up, then if you are on your front, then perhaps you might want to move back into a child's pose position. And if you're on your back, then just make your way, perhaps rolling onto your side, back up into a seated position. And just being aware that it's very possible that your lower back may feel tender here. If you're in child's pose, then just come up now into a seated position, and everybody, if you just want to sit. And we're going to move into a deer position, lengthways. I'm going to show you this way what deer position is, but if you want to go on the length of the mat. So basically what we're doing is the front knee is approximately at a right angle, as if you were going to cross your legs. And the left knee, the left foot is going to the outside of the left hip. You can bring that leg back a bit to feel a bit of a stretch on the hip flexors, and we're going to increase that stretch. So you might want to play with this leg when we're more in the pose. So we're going to go lengthways. We're going to go backwards. Now I want you to go to the point where you're feeling an appropriate stretch on the leg flexors and the quads, so the front of the left leg. So that could be a number of different places. That could be just on your hands. If your arms don't reach the floor, by the way, then just grab anything at all, and you can just put your hands on that. This is probably a bit small, but you get the idea. Yeah, so it may be that appropriate stretch is here on your hands. So fine, if that's the case, stay there. For other people, it may be further down. It may be on the elbows, for example. Totally depends on the person. For others, it may be completely down on your back with the arms out to the sides or maybe above the head. Don't push yourself into something just because you want to get to the more advanced pose, inverted commas. That's not what matters here. What matters is that you've got to stretch in that left leg, front of the left leg, that the knee is okay, and that you're okay to stay in this for around 2.5 minutes. Now, if anybody is having any trouble with either knee, then just play. You can always come back up again. Play with the position of the feet. So the left foot, for example, that can be, the toes can be out to the side if you want. Yeah, they can be. Yeah, you can have on the front, you can have it on the front of the foot there, or you can have the toes out to the side so the ankle is more flexed. And then also you can bring that foot away from your bum as well. That's fine. It doesn't have to be right close to the bum. And also you can bring that leg a bit further forward or a bit further back. So just play with that so that you get that stretch that's not too much, not too little, but we can stay in it for around 2 minutes. So for me, and this may be different day to day, it's going to be on my elbows, and I want my toes tucked, and that's okay on my knees. So I'm going to stay here for me. With your head you can look forward or you can drop the head back if you like. Stimulating the stomach and the spleen meridians. So stimulating the energy in the front of the body. To aid the body with any digestive issues it may be having. But also the energy related to the stomach and the spleen. It's also said to be connected to the emotion of worry. So if you worry a lot or if you overthink a lot, then it's possible you may have some kind of an imbalance in the energy of these meridians. So what we're doing here as well is we're trying to bring the balance back. Which may also perhaps benefit you, as I said, if you are a worrier and if you overthink. I'm going to have to let the cat in, I'm sorry. I think she's starting to become a bit of a prima donna. So we are almost at the end of our time on this side. So what I want you to do in your own way, being very careful, is to come down on your back, keeping the knees bent, but you will, if you're not on your back, you'll need to move the knees. So for example, just bringing the left knee up and then roll over onto your right side, maybe supporting your head. On your elbow, and just keeping the body neutral and relaxed before we just move into the next pose. We're not going to stay here too long because I want to move into the next pose. So the knees are bent to the right side, and what we're going to do now is, staying where you are, I want you to twist the upper body to the left. So we're opening the upper body to the left. Adjust the body. You can put the arms out to the sides. We use the arms as levers. So the knees are to the right, the upper body is to the left. And what we're doing here is what I mentioned at the beginning. Compressing, massaging, whatever reason it may be in a physical sense, but ultimately we are definitely restricting the blood flow temporarily to a degree. And when we do untwist, this fresh blood comes in and it goes, of course, to the digestive organs, helping them to work more effectively. Keep this a relaxed twist, keep this a yin twist. Knees to the right, torso to the left. Keeping the body relaxed. Okay, so we're just going to come out of this now. So then twist from the left, back to the center, bring the knees back to the center. And then just keeping the knees bent and the feet on the floor, then we're just going to stay here for a moment before we go to the other side. So close your eyes and then just notice how you feel, how the legs feel. Okay, and then make your way up, maybe back on the side again, coming back up to the center. Let's go to the other side. So we're going to move into Dia, this time with the right leg in front, the left leg in front, and the right foot goes towards the right hip. Play with the legs a bit, make sure we're not feeling it in the knees, and then we're going backwards. And you may find here, it may be a bit different. You may go back a bit further or not as far as you did before. You choose. We're going to be here for around 3 minutes. Make sure to play with the position of the feet, play with the position of the legs, so that you've got not too much, not too little, but just enough stretch in that right front of that right leg. You can stay in for just under 3 minutes now. Keep the body relaxed, keep the muscles relaxed. And perhaps bringing your attention back to the belly. Noticing anything that's going on here. Never overstretch. Always listen to your body. You need to be safe. If it feels too much, back off or come out. Don't push. Really, please do listen to your body. By all means, if you feel like you want to go deeper in, like I just have, for example, I've gone deeper in because my body was saying it wanted to do it, that it would feel good. But if you're in something and you're thinking, this is hurting me, come out. It's really important. I can't see you. And even if I did see you, I wouldn't know how it was feeling for you. So you have to take responsibility for yourself. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out through the mouth. Bringing your attention to the belly, noticing as it falls. And again, breathe in. Breathe out, bringing your attention to the belly as it falls. And then let's move slowly into the recline twist on the other side. So if you're knocked down already, gently, gently, gently roll onto the left side. I'll just move so you can see me. And the back is quite tender, not surprisingly. On the left side. And then keeping the knees where they are, open the upper body to the right side. The arm goes over, you can adjust the body. You can twist a bit more to that side if you want to, and use the arms as a lever. Just for the last couple of minutes. Stimulating the body. Energetically, physically. And also potentially emotionally, as I mentioned before. Trying to bring some balance to ourselves in a yin and yang way. Attention to the belly. Noticing how it feels. Any movement, any sounds. Are we having any effect here? Okay, so then we're going to move back to the center. So slowly, slowly bring the body back to the center, both arms and legs. And then we're going to go directly into the final rebound, Shavasana. Straighten out the arms and the legs. You can let them be a bit wider than usual if you want. This is always an option. The legs and the arms don't need to be straight. You can have them out more like a star. You can put something underneath the knees if you want as well. Close your eyes. Notice any effects, particularly on the abdominal region. Again, once more. Draw your attention to the belly. Perhaps noticing the rise and the fall of the belly as you breathe. Feeling that movement. Maybe hearing the sound of the breath. Noticing how the body just breathes itself. Today, as we've gone over time a little bit, I'm just going to leave you here in Shavasana. Stay a bit longer. Stay for at least a couple more minutes or so. And I would suggest, I would encourage you to keep your attention on the abdominal region and notice the breath. Feel the breath. Notice any sensations. Stay relaxed, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for coming.